Good morning, fellow Staples students. Marilyn Vos Savant, the American recorded with having the highest IQ, shared that, quote, "To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe." Staples students, myself no exception, are no doubt more than drowning in the knowledge clause, but amidst Quizlet click cacophony, it's time we reconsider into what our knowledge acquiring has devolved. USA Today says weekly study average is 17 hours, but many of us near double that value. What was once a buffer for subjects we understood shakily is now a norm. Studying is not meant to be compulsory. The practice and theory shouldn't apply to material a given student has already mastered, and certainly not material the student hasn't seen before. We also oppose the socioeconomic achievement gap in education, but we hyperactive study addicts have the incalculable advantage of not having to work hours a day for our dinner. Enough note cards to shingle a roof. And what of our 1 a.m. cram sessions and revulsion at the sight of a vocabulary list? Staples students should not be allowed to study because it turns us away from learning and further ingrains socioeconomic educational divisions. I open with a reality. Studying is painful. When we study eons. In fact, teachers encouraging students to study is like shipping them to Auschwitz. Students are told that work will set them free, or Arbeit macht frei as inscribed on the concentration camp gates, but their love of knowledge is gradually massacred. For example, Staples AP Biology gives tests once a week, every week. It's not difficult to imagine that some students, despite their interest in biology, choose not to take the class for the suicidal study commitment. Enjoying learning should be a priority, so studying should be discouraged or completely stopped to preserve our interest in education. Secondly, study culture further ingrains socioeconomic divisions in national learning. The presence of hyper-studying is the best and worst part of education. Best for the wealthy and comfortable, and worse for everyone else. Our grades are buffered by how much time we put in at home alone or with knowledgeable siblings, parents, and tutors. Furthermore, tests should reflect our comprehension and application skills, not our free time. In order to harvest the real kernel of intellect, a teacher's ability to teach and a student's ability to learn, we need to pop the study bubble to gain back hours of lost sleep and a love of learning. In fact, to be a religious studier, draped in diagrams and covered in a flashcard fog, is to be a classic cheater with answers smudged on your palms. Administrators may defend the study culture, but they themselves have not experienced its ravenous magnitude in the current day. Disunited and having to choose between study or the disadvantage that comes with not studying, we're stuck between Scylla and Charybdis. But students like us must take action and speak out against our perverse study fanaticism to end the torture and level the playing field. Observe, as Vos Savant encourages, and realize the malignant horrors of this ritual. Until administrators see the mess studying has become, until teachers acknowledge the same, and until students are freed from its burdensome grip, both our and our country's education can make no advances. It should now be our mission to put an end to this horrid tradition. Calculators off with gray eyes closed, pencils clattering to the floor in boycott, and fists thrown to the air in the new rhythm of liberating equality. Thank you.